I rise in opposition to House Resolution 72. This resolution sets a dangerous new standard that will only deepen divisions within this House. For all their talk about norms and institutions, it's the Democrats who've acted to undermine the people's House at every turn. Let's check the record. Afraid for their political careers, they have moved to shut down debate and silence dissent in committee and on this floor. They went so far as to eliminate the motion to recommit, the minority party's only chance to offer an amendment, which stood for over a century until this year. They have rushed impeachments through without a shred of due process, just like today, reducing this tool from the highest constitutional remedy to just another opportunity to fundraise and go on TV. And now they are declaring the majority has veto power over the minority's members' selections for committee. Now, we have reviewed this with the parliamentarian. Never before in the history of this House has the majority abused its power in this way. Never. In the entire history of this House have you ever abused the power in this way. But it's clear Speaker Pelosi's caucus thinks differently. They're blinded by partisanship and politics. And it's the American people who will suffer the most because of it. As for the member in question, let me be very clear. Representative Greene's past comments and posts as a private citizen do not represent the values of my party. As a Republican, as a conservative, as an American, I condemn those views unequivocally. I condemned them when they first surfaced, and I condemn them today. This House overwhelmingly voted to condemn the dangerous lies of QAnon last Congress and continue to do so. I made this clear when I met with Representative Greene. I also made clear that we as members have a responsibility to hold ourselves to a higher standard. She acknowledged this during our conversation and apologized for her past comments. I will hold her to her words and her actions moving forward. But because these comments caused such deep wounds, I offered Leader Hoyer a path to lower the temperature and address these concerns in a productive way. I offered to remove Representative Greene from Ed and Labor, but it was rejected. It was rejected. Now, privately, I've had calls from many Democrats acknowledging what they're doing is wrong. They understand that this partisan power grab is not only cynical, it's hypocritical. If this is the new standard, I look forward to continuing out the standard. Because if you look for a side that has a leadership that's done something when their members do something as a member, not prior, look to me. Because I did just that. But when a Democrat freshman said, Israel has hypnotized the world, that supporting Israel is all about the Benjamins, and that 9/11, some people did something. Did Speaker Pelosi kick her off Foreign Affairs Committee? Or did she keep her on the committee and even pose with her on the cover of a magazine? That's right. Will the standard change? When another Democrat was compromised by a Chinese spy, that it was so serious that the FBI had to brief the congressional leaders, did Speaker Pelosi remove him from the House Intelligence or Homeland Security committees after the briefing? I'm the only other person that had that same briefing just recently. I was in the room with the Speaker. I heard what was said. I'll be very clear. I would never have that member on either of those committees? Or did she reward him by making him the head of the subcommittee overseeing the CIA?